Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Thank you guys all so much for stopping by. My name is Eli with Pokemon USA. Tuesdays and Thursdays are the day in which we do our Q&A session, where I will answer any and all of your guys' questions. It doesn't have to be related to Pokemon, but if you're wondering why the title of the video is the way it is, I typically don't have time to go through and answer everyone's questions that they have in the previous videos posted, so this is an opportunity for you to ask questions or more or less comment live. But before we jump into it, as always, we do weekly giveaways. All you have to do to enter is leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And then if you don't know already, we recently just announced that we're going to have some more slots for the Patreon program. We had 25 more slots at $75 that sold out in 30 seconds, and then another 25 more slots at $100. We're down to less than half. We've got 14 taken, only 11 left, so I wouldn't be surprised if they sold out within the next day or so. But let's don't forget to join the Discord too. But leave a like on the video and let's jump into it. Hey Eli, you getting a cold? Yeah, big time. No, I'm sick, and you can thank a boss for that. Frick that guy. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I am. I might be only going for an hour here, guys, today. If I'm being completely honest, I feel like absolute crap. I was just struggling so hard to sleep last night. I got such little sleep because my sleep was absolutely atrocious. So that was fun. So I wanted to tough it out for you guys though, because I feel like now that I'm only going for 4 days a week instead of 5, it's more important than ever that I don't miss days. And so for me, I would at least rather try and see if I can go for just at least an hour, give you guys some content, answer some questions, then try and just kind of cancel the stream, say, hey guys, I'm sick, I'm sorry, but that's where we are. But let's give shout outs to people that are here. Trainer Yang, Tori, John Doe, Market Scraper, Pokey John, Collector J, Mikel, Ripper, Dr. Abbas, already did Pokey John, didn't I? Yep. Trinell, John Samos, and that is it. That is it. I warned you, bro. Who said, bro, who cares? You get me sick. Bro, I know. That's on me. That is not your fault whatsoever. That is 1000% my fault. So, for those of you guys that don't know, I was in a wedding last weekend. And it was in LA. And a boss, I won't say what town he lives in, but he lived near where the wedding was. And he was like, oh, I would love to see you and like meet up in person while you're down visiting. I'm like, heck yeah, brother. And he's like, just forewarning though, I think we may be coming out with a sickness in the household, and so if you want to cancel, I totally understand. And I said, frick that, bro, I don't give a crap if I get sick. Like, we're gonna make this happen no matter what. And now I'm paying the price for that. So that is 100% on me. He warned me, said everything. And yeah, but I would say it was worth it. So, you know, I'm gonna just have to pay the price for it. So you're welcome. Well, you guys beat me to first. Poke Collector J says, good to see you as always, Collector. But let me start reading what other people say. Eli, get your butt here. I'm here, baby. Hey Eli, when are you gonna collect payment for the V-Striker tins? Thanks. I hopefully should collect payment either later today or tomorrow. Who would have guessed it, since have been being sick, have been playing catch up once again, because I just feel like crap. And it's so fun, dude. It has been so fun. Sup, bro, missed the opportunity yesterday to get on the stupider pricing, but congrats. Well, to be fair, Tyler, we do have open slots on $100, but if that extra $25 is too much for you, then I get it. But if you think about it, when we do get some more product in here, or when we get pre-orders for $151, that $25 is not gonna be anything. We had Roscoe's, it was worth it, dude. Yes, Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, Pasadena is one of the locations. They also have another one in Anaheim. It's probably my favorite restaurant, if not one of my favorite restaurants. Incredible. Back like not too long ago, but like in the early 2010s, back when I was a little kid, the Food Network had like the top restaurants in the country, and it was like number 2. Number 1 was so dumb. It was literally like the first place that made a burger in the US, and it was like, it was more or less like just a, you know, a landmark thing. Like Roscoe's was just because it was busy all the time and people love it for obvious reasons. Are you expecting to hear about the next wave of reprints this month? John Doe says. So no, here's the expectation we know of, right? Obviously, I told you my last connection said end of February, early March. Obviously, here we are, nothing, right? And I said for myself that I was having an expectation that it would make more sense to me if it was going to be sometime shortly after or around the time of Scarlet and Violet base sets. So for me personally, I said it was sometime in April is what made sense to me, because just historically speaking, the Pokemon Company loves to do reprints right around the time of a new set release. We are now hearing word from a couple of sources, one from a live that was on Pete for eBay, or sorry, Football Pete for eBay, and he has been doing Pokemon for years. I think they said like 25 years, so they've been literally doing it since the inception of when Pokemon came out, and they have close connections with the Pokemon Company. Someone asked them, first question, are Pokemon reprints coming? The first thing they said was, there is no expectation of a reprint to come, but there is going to be an announcement about reprints coming in May. That's an announcement. That doesn't mean that they're confirmed. That doesn't mean they're not confirmed. That doesn't mean anything. One other thing I thought was of note, I watched the video because you guys were linking it for me. That was quite curious. They said it would be unusual for them to reprint something out of block. They said the last time something like that happened was Evolutions. The reason why I thought that was quite confusing was because I don't know what that has to do with the point of reprints, because Evolving Skies is still in block, and I presume people were asking questions about Evolving Skies getting reprinted, but who knows, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe some people were asking for Hidden Phase reprints, Cosmic Eclipse reprints, Sun and Moon era stuff, because obviously they used Evolutions as the example, because Evolutions is one of the few times, and not the only time in Pokemon's history, where they've done a reprint for a set outside of rotation just because of the price. So that's one of the reasons why I kind of feel super confident about, Evolving Skies getting a reprint, because it's in rotation and it's pushing, what, $400 almost now, if we're taking a look at it. And Evolutions was crazy high. Like, I thought it went up to like $300-400. They're saying it apparently at some points we're selling for $600, so that's wild to think about. But yeah, if we just take a look at the high to low for the Evolutions booster box, or sorry, the Evolving Skies booster box, the lowest price listed is currently at $375. So, I mean, if we're looking at recent sales without images, $374, $358, $369, yeah, around that $370-ish price point. So I don't know if that's enough for the Pokemon Company to really just want to do something about it, but who knows, man. And then outside of that, I also have some other individuals that inform me that more or less have said that Island Grown, I don't know if you know who that is, but he also apparently has connections to the Pokemon Company and said the same thing. So I guess we're gonna have to wait till May, but that just kind of seems weird. Like, May seems a little late. Like, it seems very late, especially with a new set release. I still think April makes the most sense to me, but who knows? You know, if they truly do have connections, you know, to the Pokemon Company, which I presume they're both telling the truth, then I'm gonna assume that it's true. It just kind of feels weird with the time, so we're gonna do more investigating, obviously. Does SNV have low allocations worrying you? Any people? People said they only got 60% of, what are your thoughts, John says. So, that was obviously a video that was posted yesterday by Mason from Cardinal. Shout out to him. So, it's not worrying me whatsoever, because I think that, for me personally, I feel like most of the time when it comes to the numbers you're putting in, there's always an expectation to get cut. So, like, for example, Mason was like, oh, I put in an order for 300 and I got some weird number, like 174 or something like that. And he was like, oh, that makes me believe that I got cut on a percentage basis. I should have just put in more. I could have gotten more. I don't think that's necessarily true, because it's always like completely different. I mean, there's been times where I've put in numbers as low as, like, you know, just 100 or 200 and gotten filled like 70-80%, and then there's been times where I've put in like crazy high numbers and haven't been filled anywhere near it. So it's like, it's just super duper random. So it's on a case-by-case basis. Not to mention too, for myself in the program, just to kind of give you guys a little bit of a glimpse of our allocation numbers, because we just finally freaking got them, and I'll be taking care of that hopefully this weekend and try and get everything all charged for everyone so we can get all the pre-sales finally in for when the set comes out. But basically, we are a new account with a distributor, and we have obviously been spending a ton of money with them. With that being said, most distributors on a rolling basis do not give a ton of product to new accounts until they've hit their 6-month gap, because that's what they look at with overall spend, right? My previous accounts, or sorry, my previous distributor, like one of my first distributors I ever got, they would give me on a 6-month rolling upwards of 100 booster boxes, best case scenario, right? And as I would spend more, it didn't really change much drastically. And that was after I'd been with them for 6 months to a year to 2 years. Since starting the program and opening accounts with other distributors, they also are on the same more or less kind of, you know, concept of 6-month rolling. And to give you guys a kind of imagery of this, our distro 1, part of the wholesale program, basically said, hey, you guys ordered roughly around 500 booster boxes. Obviously, you're a new account, and so your overall spend on a 6-month, although it's extremely high and you're breaking records for the most amount of money spent in such a short amount of time with a new account, you guys still are, you know, new. You guys still are only 2-3 months old. So what we're gonna do is we're going to give you 205 or some crazy amount still, which is double of what I had as my previous high of allocation. And when it comes to the next set, 151, or the new Dark Charizard set that's going to be coming out, you guys will get fully allocated, or you should expect to receive, you know, 80+% allocation numbers based on if your spend continues to go the way it is. And basically what my rep told me is that we broke a record for the most amount of booster boxes first allocated on an account just opened, and said basically that typically they don't even allocate that much on new accounts. So what we actually got in the grand scheme of things was extremely good. So if you want to look at it from a, you know, a numbers perspective, you know, it's less than 60%, but also at the exact same time too, with it being like such a new account, it was extremely good, right? And not to mention for the program, I think ultimately we only had about 350 boxes roughly we actually needed. The other 150 was just additional to what I had asked for myself and for other things. And so it was more or less still, hey, I'm gonna obviously have to cut allocations a little bit, but just about everyone is guaranteed to get some product. Everyone's at least gonna get half a booster case to a booster case, which for me is good, especially since we just recently started this program, and I told people that with Scarlet and Violet, we're a new account, don't expect a ton of product. So that really gives me a ton of optimism for the newest sets that are going to come out, which are going to be even more hype sets than Scarlet and Violet base set, which is more important that we get high numbers for that. So because obviously we know 151, people are speculating about that, but take 151 out of the mix, right? Let's have a conversation about a set that we're not going to be speculating about. Ruler of the Black Flames to feature a Dark Charizard type plus upcoming release date. This set will release on July 28th, but as you guys can imagine, it is going to be a Dark type Charizard. Would not surprise me if we're going to have a shiny Charizard in this set, but extremely exciting, personally speaking. And so the idea that we're kind of setting ourselves up for success now and things are going so well for the program, I'm really thrilled, because my distributor says just keep kind of going on your spend and your allocation numbers are just going to keep increasing from here. So I am optimistic about allocation numbers, but that's just me personally. It's kind of hard to say because it's such a case-by-case basis, is from what I've learned. And not to mention too, right, like the numbers that he gave you, I have absolutely no idea. And if he's here, because Mason stops by the channel all the time. Shout out to him. Awesome guy. Awesome channel. I don't know if that was for one distributor in particular. I don't know if that was spread amongst all distributors. So there's so many different variables at play with that, you know? Because like the number I gave, right? We got 204. That was from just distro 1. We still have to get numbers for distro 3 and distro 4 for booster boxes. And although I don't think it's going to be more than probably just a couple more cases, if we can get up to that 250, then it's like even better, right? So that's kind of where I look at it in terms of, you know, what we're, you know, wanting overall as a group versus what one distributor gives us versus all distributors give us. So, because the sad reality of it all is that you can't solely rely on one distributor. I want to rely on one distributor. I do have one that is like my main distributor, right? But the remaining other distributors are ones in which, you know, I get product from, I spend with them, but I always have to have other options, and you guys are probably aware of that. But there's always ones that we try and figure on. That new Charizard set with possibly Delta Species Dark Charizard Patreon going to be full to the brim with a backlog. I mean, honestly, that set's going to be insane. No, that set is going to probably cause an extreme amount of hype and FOMO. I mean, if you, like I said before, this set will be released. Rule of the Black Flame can't be natively found in Scarlet and Violet, but appears to be a Black Terra Raid crystal in December. As stated over the last few months, the first set block usually starts simple in terms of power mechanics. This is because the appeal of Pokemon, the new Pokemon. After this, if their cards are introduced, the set starts to spice up the mechanics. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going to be, you know, kind of the play with this, right? Oh, lol. Insert one complaint about Charizard so we don't get 200 replies. That's hilarious. People are like, oh, more Charizard cards. But I mean, let's be honest here. This set is going to go crazy. So, yeah, it's gnarly, man. What's up, Joshua? Thanks for stopping by. Question, don't know what do you mean by that? Silver Tempest had potential to be somewhere valuable to Evolving Skies, does not get a reprint since it was one wave. I mean, in terms of, do I think that it could get up to a price point of 350, 400? I mean, in theory, yes, since it's only technically had one wave, but it's not one of those items that I think is going to, like, it's not one of those items that I think is going to outpace Evolving Skies, right? I think that Evolving Skies is going to be like the evolutions of the XY era. It's going to be so far above all the other sets in terms of value for booster boxes, right? Do I think it'll do really well? Yes, I think it'll do really well as a set. Do I think long term it could, of course, hit that, you know, $300, $400 price point? Yeah, if reprints were not to happen, that's totally possible. Do I know a time frame of how long that's going to take? No, I don't, because I don't have a crystal ball. But yeah, I think, you know, if hypothetically there were no more reprints, then you could, you know, see that happen. Waiting 6 months just for an announcement, lol, that's wild, right, John? And that's the thing that pisses me off the most, is it's like they didn't even say reprints were coming in May. They said it's just an announcement, and I'm like, what the frick does that supposed to mean? Like, what? My fault, thought you sold at $100 range too. Do you have any more info on it? Is there an example of a list of distro pricing somewhere? Thank you. I mean, distro pricing is, you know, it's kind of all over the place depending on which distributor you're with. But I can tell you what the new pricing is going to be for like the newest sets. Booster boxes are going to be around $95.50. Elite trainer boxes are going to be around $30 to $32. That's kind of what your traditional pricing is. UPCs are selling for around $75 to $80. And then, God, what other products do we have? I mean, we have older Elite Trainer boxes available, but those are like on the higher price point of $25, $26. And by higher price point, I mean higher from the old wholesale pricing, which was $23. Because there's just such a shortage. Obviously, there's no older booster boxes available at this moment in time just because supply is so short. But yeah, I mean, if you look at the overall market and you look at the price you're paying for a lot of product, it's obviously a really good price. Like, for example, we just had a deal where people got V-Striker tins for a limit of 1 case per person, obviously, because I was only able to get so much, but it was $96 and you got a grand total of 30 packs. So you were paying $3.20 a pack before shipping and fees, which I think ultimately shipping and fees probably added it to like $3.40 or $3.50. But the items that were inside were 3 Evolving Skies packs, and 2 Brilliant Star packs. So for most people, Evolving Skies packs are pushing $7, and then Brilliant Star packs are pushing $4 plus. So you're more than making your value out of that alone. We had some other deals we had literally like just a couple weeks ago where you could buy packs of Silver Tempest for $2.51 flat, other than the price to ship to you, which maybe added a penny to the overall price for how many packs you're picking up, of course. And the price for Silver Tempest is around $4 a pack. So once again, a really great deal. So right now, what kind of I've been doing for the program to get product as much as I can for people is it's no longer like, okay, well, booster boxes are short, so what can I do? Let me open some collector's chests. Let me open some trainer toolkits. Let me open something here, something there. Anything I can do to, like, you know, get the price average down. Another example is I did a deal for like, I think I averaged $3 a pack for some Evolving Skies, some Brilliant, some Lost Origin, some Silver Tempest, and some Astral. And I was like, all right, $3 a pack is going to be the average price. And I got all of them from collector's chests, and I got all of them from trainer toolkits. I ended up personally losing $2,000 just out the gate. Just lost $2,000. Now I'm hoping to make that back in bulk that I got from the trainer toolkits. But in all honesty, I'm probably going to break even is the best case scenario for myself. But I'm doing this type of stuff because I care about you guys. I care about you guys getting the product that you want. And I'm just doing my best, you know, and spending as much time as I can to really just get you guys the product, you know, that I feel like you deserve for being in the program. Someone just paid $272 for a Celebrations Metal Charizard, cheapest over $200 on TG Player. I figured it wouldn't be long for it to take off. Yeah, those will probably do really good. Dark Charizard, John says with the F, right? Tyler, I would say the program is worth it. When I have gotten Booster Box ETB Sleeve Special Sets, I have bought a ton, and it has helped fund a lot pricier things in my collection. Shout out to a boss on that one. Cool Shy, what's up, Coolest? What is up, Jason, as well? I already just answered that question. Jim R says 2 days ago we learned we should rob a bank to get a loan, spend all of our money to make money, and debt has no taxes and other things. I'm going to jail and have no money now. What is today's advice? Okay, so you're going to jail because it sounds like all of your other things didn't work out. So now we're going to learn. Oh God, that's a great question. Okay, question is, are you on bail or are you in a cell right now? And if you are in a cell, how the hell are you communicating with us? Because we need to figure out a way to either have you escape jail or break bond. Mexico might be the best option, depending upon where you live. If not, we might want to do an inverse swimming to Cuba if you're close to Florida. So surprisingly, instead of, you know, Cubans coming to America, you're probably going to want to do the opposite, where an American's going to Cuba. You know, I heard they have nice cigars down there. But anyway, so we have to kind of play out our options. Do I believe Canada will accept you? I think that their immigration might be a little bit tougher. So if we can get you to Mexico, that might be the best plan. But yeah, I mean, we got to play this scenario out and see where you are right now, brother. So because if we're gonna have you, you know, run away from the government, we got to do this right. How long does it take for Pokemon to release a new set after their base set drops? It depends. So anywhere between 2 to 3 months typically. Sometimes 1 month, honestly. Just really depends. So if we go back and take a look at some of the just set history, and we go advanced search, for the set history, we had Sun and Moon base set, and then Guardians Rising, if I'm correct, came out about 3 months later, right? So if we go to XY base set, Flash Fire, also around 3 months later. Yeah, it's about 2.5, 3 months. So when did Sun and Moon base set come out? So that came out on February 3rd. Nope. So February 3rd, remember that. And then it came out on May 5th. So literally 3 months later, almost exactly. So probably exactly if you count, you know, February having shorter days. So yeah, 3 months is what I would say. What's up, my guys? Definitely sounds sick. Feel better. Appreciate it, brother. Yeah, after I'm done streaming here, I'm gonna go get some pho it is very soothing to me. So literally hot tea and honey. Oh my god, I wish I liked tea. I wish I liked tea, because gosh dang it. But yeah, pho and like chicken broth has always been nice to me. Is it just me, or does it seem Crown Zenith mini tins have fire pull rates? I don't know. I still have yet to open any Crown Zenith products, sadly. Do you ever go to any of the local card shops near you in the Gilbert Mesa area? Joshua says, I do occasionally, very, very occasionally. Like every so often I need some supplies and I just don't happen to have any. Like I just ran out and I need them now, and so I'll just go to some of the like local card shops and buy some, but not really, I would say, that often I'm going to them. Why, I presume you live in the area. But yeah, no, just not super often personally. If Evolving Skies got no more reprints, would you rather invest in that or the Celebration UPC? Trick question. I'd much rather invest in the Charizard UPC. I still think that value is insane right now. I would much rather invest in neither. But if you say gun to my head, I have to choose between one or the other, I would say that probably the Celebrations Ultra Premium Collection, just purely based off of the Metal Charizard, because that card itself is, I think, like well worth its value, and then you have all the other items inside of it. The value is there. Versus with Evolving Skies, I don't think the value is there for a booster box, because of the value per pack and what you can get inside the contents of. It's just not it, right? The more like ancillary product you can get inside of a, you know, premium collection, the more value you can truly get out of the item when you break it down. Eli, you need to buy a crystal ball, right, dude? Seriously, then I can start actually saying, I do have a crystal ball. I'm sorry for my sniffles, guys. If you're, I can try and like mute myself, but if I mute myself like every 5 seconds, then you're not gonna hear me talk at all. I suppose, yeah, if we got confirmations, no more EA's booster box prints now. Do you think there will still be enough product for 90 members? Here's my personal opinion, John, on the program. According to my distro, and this is just what he's told me, and this kind of leads into the point that I just, you know, made earlier. The more we spend, the more product we get. Simple as that. So, if, for example, I want 200 booster boxes, and we spend $100,000 in a 6-month period, we're probably going to get 200 booster boxes. If I want 600 booster boxes, then I'm going to need to spend $300,000. In theory, as long as there's product to buy from these distributors and we're able to spend $300,000 over a 6-month period, which is just $50K a month, which sounds like a lot, but it's honestly not that much. We've spent over $100,000 already. So, more or less the point that I'm making with that. And also too, crappy product like collector's chests, trainer toolkits, they take that into consideration and they will beef up your numbers, right? So when we did actually get our numbers in, we only had roughly around like 50K spent on Pokemon product. And so they gave us double, because I had bought a ton of trainer toolkits and broken them down. I had bought a ton of collector's chests and broken them down. And so they really beefed up our numbers because of that, right? And so the point that I'm making with that is, if we were just to scale our spend, right, and we say right now that we want to hit, let's say, 800 booster boxes, right, or 600 booster boxes, that requires us to spend more. As long as there's product for us to spend, then it shouldn't be a problem whatsoever. And since we're such a new account, we haven't even hit that 6-month period rolling, which is going to in turn allow us to just continuously get more product for every new set release, right? Not to mention, for that too, we're obviously in a shortage when it comes to overall Pokemon product available. Hopefully we should see something here. I mean, let's be honest, this is not long term. Like, this is not sustainable for the Pokemon company, right? The Pokemon company can't say, hey, we just made a record sale, we sold so much freaking Pokemon product, we're just gonna stop printing Pokemon product, period, other than the new sets. That's just gonna tank their business. Like, they're just missing out on so much money and missed out opportunity. So obviously this is very much short term. You're crazy if you think this is long term, because we're at an unprecedented time. If you want to debate with me Evolving Skies reprints, totally justified in that. I totally understand that. If you want to debate with me Fusion Strike, Chilling Reign, I totally understand that, right? But to say that 2022 sets, you know, Brilliant Star, Astral Radiance, Silver Tempest, Lost Origin, these sets are not going to get reprinted, I think that is kind of a crazy statement to make, because it just doesn't make sense. especially when we didn't get like a massive amount of, you know, product for Scarlet and Violet. Obviously, we got a, how do I want to say this? We didn't get cut, which is good, but that shouldn't be the expectation, right? Like previously, it felt like with Silver Tempest and Lost Origin, I just kept getting less and less booster boxes from the store's allocation numbers. So for us to, you know, see that not like dump more with the newest set Scarlet and Violet, that's at least a good sign. But at the same time, that's not what you want. You want more product, right? And so this is just where we kind of are at this moment in time. You know, as long as the product keeps coming and we're able to just keep spending, then we're just going to keep getting it. And the best part is too about it, every new set release, for example, we're going to spend about $35,000, I think, for the new set release for Distro 1. That is going to count towards our overall spend. So we spend $35K. That right there means we only have to spend another $15,000 on a monthly basis, which you guys might think $15,000, that's a lot. Once again, it's not that difficult. Like, we've done it in like one weekend, $15,000 easy. So we're just going to keep doing what we're doing, and we're just going to keep playing the game and just scaling the amount of booster boxes. Our next goal is going to be shooting for 600. If we can get 600 booster boxes this next set, whether that be 151 or whether that be the set with the Dark Charizard, that's kind of going to be what the goal is. My distributor or my sales rep says there's a high probability that we're going to get that amount. You know, we just need to make sure that there's just going to be continuous product to spend on. And for the most part, every time new product becomes available, you know, we're able to at least, you know, once a week spend about 5K, but we need to get that number higher, right? So to more or less answer your question, John, do I think is this sustainable for 90 members? I do think the answer is yes. I do think it's sustainable. Do I think as this moment in time, hindsight being where there's not a ton of product? Of course not. But that's just because right now we're in a time of scarcity. But when the product is going to become abundant, we're going to have more than enough product. Because if you were there for the reprints when they came end of 2021, we had, you know, booster boxes such as Chilling Reign and Battle Styles and Fusion sitting on distro pages for 6+ months. And they were doing insane deals on them, right? Like buy a booster box, get a trainer toolkit for free. And trainer toolkits, if you break them down with the bulk and the packs, you're getting about $40, $45 in free value. So you're not only buying booster boxes at wholesale, but you're also getting free products with it. So when the reprint does happen, there's going to be a long period of time where you're going to look and you're going to see prices on distro and you're going to be like, holy crap, this has been sitting here at this price forever, and people are going to continuously take advantage of that. We just have to wait for that day to come, and historically speaking, it's always come. So we're just waiting for that to happen, you know? Can you write off as a loss for taxes? I guess I could. Yeah, I didn't really think of that. I could write off losses for taxes. Sure. I don't like to write it off though, because I want to make money, or I want to reinvest it back in the business, you know? I'd much rather write off a loss more or less in terms of reinvesting in business or, you know, support product, rather than a loss because I took a cut to get you guys better prices on things, you know? Thank you, Poke Collector J. He literally summed it down in one sentence, and I went on a ramble for 10 minutes. He said, in theory, allocations will scale to however members we have. Exactly. Exactly. I could have just said that, but you know me. I always have to go into detail. Mikkel says, hey, Eli, do you remember if I were one of the two how did not know to fill out the new submission sheets? Try for the V-Striker tin. Not sure if I did it right. So for the... There was two people. It was recently for, it wasn't for the V-Striker tins I was in reference to. It was for some UPCs. So basically, if you watch the two tutorial videos that we recently posted, they are straight up 2-minute videos each. So it's 4 minutes. So everyone should have time to do it. In terms of how you submit it properly, Mikkel, I am looking right now. No, you did not submit it properly. So here's how you submit it. It's super duper simple. You put in your Discord name and then you follow the steps. That's it. Because how it happens is when I ask you guys for your shipping information, I need to input a command that allows me to automatically pull it up, so I can just drop your shipping info in a CSV file so I can mass print shipping labels. And so I need that to be designated by your Discord, so that if I try and like look up, hey, this product was supposed to go to this person, I need to ask for payment, I need to ask them a question about the product, I can just look up your guys' name on the Discord. And so if I go and I say Mikel, you know, that is your name currently in the actual submission form, and then I go to conversations and I look up Mikel and I don't find it, and then that means it's not properly in the system. So whatever your actual Discord name is the name that you need to literally copy and paste. Like, literally look at your Discord name. So mine is Pokemon USA. You literally copy and paste Pokemon USA into the doc. It's simple as that. And then you follow the remaining steps, which, if I'm looking, Mikkel, just to kind of answer your question, everything else was filled out exactly correct. However, it looks like you did manually type the product. You were supposed to just copy and paste it because everything is not in caps. It's not a big deal. You just copied everyone else. But yeah, you can literally just copy and paste in the future. But yeah, no, put in your Discord name, and that's kind of the biggest thing. Technically, isn't it possible to get everyone new booster box sets at a good price because so many online stores take 10% tendies? Technically, isn't it possible to get every new set booster box at a good price because so many online stores? I don't know what you mean by that question, John. What do you mean by technically isn't it possible to get every new set booster box at a good price because of online stores taking it? I don't know what you mean by that, John. Could you reword that maybe a little bit? I apologize. Pika, what's up, Pika? Good to see you as always, brother. Always a pleasure to have you here. I need to click on something real quick. Alrighty, where are we? Do you expect Scarlet and Violet ARs to have a similar pull rate to Yellow Border Trainer Galleries in English? Putting together Scarlet and Violet, how do you think it will get mapped into English? Absolutely no idea. Obviously, we know that they have just recently announced that there's going to be a different type of rarity. So that is entirely new to us. But do I know... And the mapping is going to be now... It's the second reverse holo. So since there's now 2 reverse holos, do I think that's going to drastically change the pull rates? I don't think so. But obviously, you know, at this point, everything's hypothetical. On a more serious note, have you heard anything about Lorcana allocations? One store said the distros they're getting based on all card spent or stores, or one thing would be a disadvantage, and there's a chance to get distro names in the program to order non-Pokemon stuff, or is that hidden info? I might want stuff from Southern, but not sure if that's a distro. Southern Hobby is one of our distros, yes. And yes, that is correct. So they are pulling allocation numbers from everything. So your overall cumulative spend on Magic, your overall cumulative spend on Yu-Gi-Oh! That's something that is totally taken into account, which we're with Lorcana, the storefront is spending a ton on Magic product on a monthly basis, so that is going to be cumulative. However, I don't know how much product we're going to get. I don't know what everything's going to look like. Like, there's still so many questions about Lorcana on how they're going to do things. So it's hard for me to answer other than what you're saying is correct. That is 100% true. So, but that's about all I know at this moment in time. So we should hopefully, I mean, we're spending a ton. So in theory, we should get some good Lorcana. I don't know how much the store is going to get of it. I mean, I discussed it with my business partner, and he basically said that you're good to like pull some. I don't know what that kind of number looks like, especially considering that we're the one that's doing the majority spend. But the expectation is that everyone should get an opportunity to get Lorcana product, and we're going to get the majority of it. And he just wants a little bit for the store, which is fine because we're not going to be greedy because, you know, the store is still contributing in a way. So I just don't know what that number looks like, right? I don't know if that means, oh, we get 1,000 booster boxes, we get 800, they get 200, right? Because I don't know if I'm going to get 1,000 booster boxes. I don't even know what the frick that they're going to send us, right? There's just so many questions. Happy Friday, all. What's up, Trainer Mason? Good to see you. Happy Friday Eve indeed, Tom Piz says. Yeah, Friday Eve. That's so funny. Apologies to all. Somehow my chat window is frozen and I don't see the contents. Oh, that's a bummer, Pika Pika. Well, you can hear me. Yeah, it said, oh, so your guys' thing was frozen? Okay, so I thought no one was typing all of a sudden. I like caught up and it said no one had typed for like 20 minutes. And I was like, why is no one typing anything? What the heck? So that's weird. Your guys' content was frozen. And on my end too, it says that we're running smooth. Like it says our health is excellent connection. So that's kind of weird that everyone was just frozen. No problem, Mikal. John says, just saying that often every online Poke Store gets their allocation and sells them for a 10% profit, i.e. booster boxes at 107 each. So is it still possible to get new set booster boxes at a good price if I miss the membership? Oh, if you miss the membership, John, it's hard to say. So here's how I kind of look at this, right? The membership obviously gets you access to a booster box at, you know, $95.50, maybe $95, hopefully. You say you're paying about a 2% fee, and then you're paying a couple of dollars to ship to you and a couple of dollars for distro ship. You're probably paying closer to that, about $102 to $100 a booster box, right? That's roughly around, depending upon how many you get, obviously, because the more you get, then the lower it goes down on. So if I were to say, you know, let's say for the sake of it, you're getting 3 cases, which is $24, and you're saying 1.02 times 95 equals 96. You say times 24. And then we'll say like, just for the sake of it, 17.5 plus 3 cases, probably like, depending upon where you live, we can say like $30 divided by 24. It's gonna put you at around $99. If you're in theory ordering 3 cases, obviously if you're ordering 1 case, probably close to that 102 number. If you're ordering 2 cases, probably closer to that $100 number. If we go right now and say, okay, what's the next best option, right? The next best option is if you were on Game Nerds and they were selling it by the case for $105 a piece. So if you're saying you bought a case and you're saying to yourself, okay, you bought, let's say you wanted multiple, right? Let's say you wanted 3 cases and you get filled for the 3 cases, like the example I gave you. Oh no, that was 4 cases actually. Sorry, that was 4 because 6 times 4. Yep. So let's say you wanted 4 cases. You're saving to yourself 105. That's $6 times 24. So you're saving yourself $146, obviously. And that's if you were to get the best possible option, which they sold out extremely fast, right? The next best possible option is going to be, I don't even know what the next cheapest place is. If you guys happen to know, let me know if they're selling them for $115, $120. But more or less, the point that I'm making is that you get access to better prices than what you could have gotten on the secondary market, or on the main market best case scenario if you happen to get it in time. So for us, it's more or less, you get your numbers in, you're going to get some product no matter what. You just got to make sure you hit the deadline. You don't have to worry about scrambling to, you know, try and buy it before it sells out. You're going to have the opportunity. The only time you have to scramble for anything is if I make like an announcement and I say, hey guys, we're getting some new product. It's very limited. Please put in your numbers. But most of the time, even then, like, most people have still a full day to get back to it. It's not like it's something that sells out within an hour. Like, I don't know if an instant like that has happened. So in terms of, you know, kind of looking at it and saying to yourself, like, you know, the question of reading back on the question, just saying that often every online store gets their allocation sales for only a 10% profit, i.e. SV booster boxes. I mean, it's a 10% profit of what the newest sets are, right? So if you're seeing on the like current market, if you're seeing that being sold on Silver Tempest, if you're seeing that being sold for Lost Origin at that kind of price point of 107, then obviously, yeah. But we're talking about newest sets. What's available right now, what's on pre-order. That's kind of what we're looking at this moment in time. John says, get some rest, bro. We need you at 100% for all those orders to get filled. LOL, JK. You say you're kidding, but you're serious, though. Like, seriously. So, local store asked for 300 booster boxes and only got half. Well, welcome to the world of allocations. This is not new. This is just being talked about more just because of shortages. That's the thing. This is how it's always been. It was way worse than this. Like, during COVID, it was so bad. Like, it was so bad. Like, obviously supply shortages right now are bad, but like on distro 2, there was zero product. Like, I'm not even kidding you, zero product. And they've had product on their site in the past 2 years. Like, consistently had it. Or not 2 years, for the past year and a half. So like the fact that there's actual product available is, it's like, this is not unusual. This has happened before. What's up, Cash? I'm good to see you, brother. Chat window's working now. Cheers, all. XD Mean says, how much would it cost you if you want to get 2 cases off you? I live in Canada, though, so I'm not sure how much it would come out to. Hard for me to say, XD, because honestly, we work with a shipping partner when shipping outside the US, so all of the prices are something that they do. I am not someone who knows exactly what those prices are. You obviously have to see how they price it out when we ship the product to them. But one thing I can tell you is that the key to knowing prices is make sure that you want your item to be worth more and way less. We had one guy who bought $65, like literally didn't spend a dime on any Pokemon product, live outside the US. He spent $65 on a case of sleeved penny sleeves, and a case of that weighs 20 pounds. That is heavy for something worth 65 bucks. In retrospect, a case of booster boxes weighs around 10 pounds. So basically, 2 booster box cases is gonna push you, with new market, roughly around $1,000 in value. His item was $65 in value. So when he shipped his item and he was like, wow, this is super expensive to ship, it's gonna cost me like 30-40 bucks to ship, he's like, that's super spendy. And he's like, that's almost the same price as the item itself. I'm like, yeah, because you bought an item that weighed 20 freaking pounds and was only worth 65 bucks. So you have to really look at it, you know, in a way of, I'm buying heavy items, but the items themselves are obviously worth more. That's why, in all honesty, outside of booster boxes, in terms of like shipping value, loose packs, when I do loose pack deals, you get so much value. Because I can ship almost 1,000 packs for 50 bucks. Like, or sorry, not for 50 bucks. I can ship almost 1,000 pounds and get it up to 50. Holy crap, I'm having a stroke. I can ship almost 1,000 packs and it weigh around 50 pounds, which is kind of like the golden pocket ratio. The closer you can get to 50 pounds on an item, the more you're going to save. Once you go over 50, then it costs more. I think the exact number is like 940 packs, something roughly around that. Anyway, if you just do the math, and you say specifically within the States, I mean, the cheapest I've had is instances of like $45. If you live in Florida, obviously it's going to be closer to like 75, 80. But even then, if you say to yourself, you're paying about an additional, like, to ship per 1,000 cards, or 940, and you're saying, let's say it's going to cost you 40 bucks. That'd be 40 divided by 900. That's going to be an additional, like, 4% of whatever it is you're paying. No, where's the exact number? It's 40 divided by 940. It's going to cost you an additional 4 cents per pack. Yep, there's the answer. I was like, that doesn't seem right on a percentage basis. Yeah, it's going to cost you an additional 4 cents per pack. So the value's there, like the value is way more there when it comes to like loose packs or booster boxes, right? Because they're just so much more efficient, right? But more or less to answer your question, I don't know. But I still like to explain to everyone so you just understand the concept as to why, you know, it's a I don't know, right? Because I always want to inform people as much as I can. How long after the release do boxes go back on sale for people that miss the pre-orders, new people? It depends. It really depends on if distro has anything. That's ultimately what it comes down to. Because with distro 2, I would say it's pretty fairly often that they'll have some supply, but it'll be on a limited basis. With distro 1, they sell out fast. Like, they have a reserve. They'll do like deals with like special, like buy this, get this with it deals. And same thing goes with distro 3. But it's hard to say, honestly, because I'm so new to these distros that I don't know how often that happens. I can only really go off of distro 2. So, but my hope is that when the set does get released, at least one of the 3, main distros, distro 4 is kind of cheeks, but one of the 3 main should have some extra booster boxes that they'll be willing to get us. It just might be limited. Hey, shout out to Catchem for being a part of the program. Good afternoon, Eli. For some reason, I am unable to view the sheet for the wholesale access. I clicked on the button to request access to let me know if there's anything else I need. That should not be right. I don't know why you're needing access to it. It's an open link. Hold on one second. Let me see. Ah, Patrick, I see what the problem is now. So you are trying to access the old system. So we're not on that old system anymore. We're doing a new system entirely. So watch the most recent 2 videos that we posted in the announcements page, and it will explain to you the new system. But we're doing everything by a submission form now. All the links to that will be in the announcements. If you guys are ever wondering, like, where do I find these links for items, they're always going to be in the announcements, right? So I'm going to show you, I'll actually show you guys in the wholesale access images. So as you guys can see, if I scroll all the way to the top, this is the allocations doc. This is the submission form. This is how you track your orders. And then these are the 2 tutorial videos. And then these are for people that live outside the States. Everything should be explained all within these literal posts. And it should maybe take you max 10 minutes to go through and do all of this, right? And then I also mentioned before as well, I said, please make sure that before you do anything, send me your shipping information. I told people, please make sure to send me your shipping information. And if you don't live in the US, then obviously if you do send me your shipping information, make sure it is attached to the Ship My Cards, which are shipping partners. But yeah, it's all here, man. It's all here. And as you can see, it's like just a couple of scrolls away. It's not a ton. Maybe a couple paragraphs you have to read. Does distribution only sell TCGs or other products like stuffed animals, etc.? No, they don't sell stuffed animals. They sell Funko Pops, or they sell like Dungeons and Dragons supplies, but no, nothing else. Roma, what's up, my guy? Snagged a spot yesterday. Yeah, it's so funny, Roma. By the time I saw your message, literally you had already replied back. Just kidding, I figured it out. So I decided not to reply because I was like, oh, he got it all figured out. Glad he's here. Do I have personal card collections? I do. They're all displayed behind me. Got an SV booster for 115. Do you think it will go down more once this is out and available? It honestly depends, Corey. I think 115 is a fair price. I think that's a good price. If it does go down, you know what you do, Corey? You double down. You double down. You lower your dollar cost average. That's not a bad price to get in at. Do I think it will go down more when the set comes out? Honestly, I think it'll go up because the supply is so thin. If there is a large wave of, reprints coming, then obviously that's going to change everything. Then of course prices are going to go down, but we're not making that general assumption. We're saying that the trend is your friend until the end of the trend, and the trend is we don't know if product is coming, and so we're going to keep that mindset, and we're going to say to ourselves, all right, well, no product is coming, then might as well expect the price to just keep going up unless there's more supply because the demand is still there, right? And that's kind of where we are with this at the end of the day. Yeah, I've heard from 3+ sources allocations were thin for Scarlet and Violet. I think thin is like so dramatic though. It's not thin. It's just the same. Like here's what I'm saying. People were expecting Scarlet and Violet to have beefy numbers because the supply shortages. They did not have beefy numbers. They had the same numbers for what they were from the 2 previous sets. Maybe slightly more for some distros. Obviously, in hindsight, people are going to look and say, like, oh, well, that wasn't really a big of a shift. But most people are looking at the shortages and they're thinking it's a lot bigger of a deal, which it is, to be fair, because everyone was like, oh, well, obviously they're not going to reprint this old stuff, therefore they're going to give us more Scarlet and Violet product, but they haven't, which has me to believe that reprints are coming, right? So it's like all this kind of, you know, it's just kind of how it is. Bring back $90 booster boxes, please, right? All right, guys, I am starting to struggle to breathe right now. And I said I was going to go for an hour this time around just because I was feeling like crap. I have now hit that hour point, and I am physically exhausted. My face hurts like a motherfricker. So I'm going to end it here. But I appreciate you guys, as always, so much for stopping by. Make sure you leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We post pre-recorded content for you to do so each and every week. We still have, it looks like we had 2 or 3 slots actually just get taken up in the program. So we're sub 10 slots available now on the program. So get in while you can. It's probably going to sell out in the next day or two. But yeah, outside of that, make sure you leave a like. And if you want to join the awesome community, Discord link is also down in the description below. But that's all for today's video.